Let us continue with the lesson Getting to Know Plants. We'll discuss the answers for the previous home assignment. First main, correct the following statements and rewrite. First one, stem absorbs water and minerals from the soil. So the answer for that would be root absorbs water and minerals from the soil. Second one, leaves hold the plant upright. Answer, stem holds the plant upright. Third one, roots conduct water to the leaves. Answer, stem conducts water to the leaves. Second main question, with the help of a neat labeled diagram, describe an experiment to show the presence of starch in leaves. So children, you are going to copy the entire process given here and you are going to copy the diagram also and label it. Let us quickly recapitulate what we studied in our previous class. We learnt about transpiration. What is transpiration? The loss of water from the surface of the leaves in the form of water vapor. So an activity was conducted to prove that leaves undergo the process of transpiration. Leaves prepare food and store it in the form of starch. Now, do leaves really contain starch? This was proved with the help of an experiment. Leaves prepare food by the process of photosynthesis, and oxygen is given out during the process. The next part of the plant which we studied was roots. So, what is the function of a root? The most important function is they absorb water and minerals from the soil. So this also was proved with the help of an activity. Roots also anchor the plant firmly to the soil. Now let us learn more about roots. In the previous activity, you had taken 2 bowls, and in the first bowl we had taken the monocot seed or maize. We had kept it in a soaked cotton and allowed the sprouts to come out, and the roots also developed, and then you tried to separate the root from the cotton fibers. And in the bowl B, you had taken the dicot seed or the gram seed. Now, a little bit of continuation we are going to do here with the same activity. You are going to take those 2 seeds which have sprouted and given out the roots and observe the roots of the maize plant and the gram plant which have sprouted out. Find out whether they look like A, where the root is like thin fibers or hair-like structures, or is it like B, where a single thick root is visible. So which seed matches which kind of root? You just take that and observe it here. So here only you can find that you will be able to identify there are 2 types of roots. One is the hair-like structures or thread-like structures, and another one has a single thick root. So 2 roots can be differentiated here with 2 different types of seeds. Now let us learn further. The two types of roots are taproot and fibrous roots. What is taproot? A taproot is a single main root that grows down into the soil. The smaller roots are called lateral roots. Usually we see taproot in dicots such as the Bengal gram, black gram, etc. We can observe taproot even in carrot, radish, beetroot, etc., where the roots are modified to store food. Fibrous root. Fibrous root has a dense network of roots. They do not have a main root as we see in the taproot. In a fibrous root system, the roots arise from the base of the stem. For example, corn, rice, wheat, etc. We see the fibrous root system mostly in the monocots. So what are the two types of root systems? The taproot and the fibrous root system. Taproot, we have a single main root, whereas in a fibrous root, we do not have the main root. Taproot is found mostly in the dicots. Fibrous root is found in the monocots. Here is a question for which you are going to find the answer. The question is it possible to know the type of roots a plant has without pulling out? So what we mean here is, when you look at a plant, will you be able to tell what type of root it has got? So you're not going to pull out the roots. Just by looking at the plant, you should be able to tell what type of root. Is it possible? Think. The answer for the question, the think question which was given, that is it possible to know the type of roots a plant has without pulling out? So the answer for that is yes, it is possible to know the type of root without pulling out the plant. So how is it possible? Let us discuss that now. So what you need to do is collect a few plants with taproot and a few more with fibrous roots. Group them separately. A set of plants with taproot and a set of plants with fibrous root. See to it that they have the leaves also. Now take the first group of plants with fibrous root. Observe its leaves. What type of venation do you find? So you see that the plants with fibrous root have parallel venation. Now observe the second set of plants with the taproot. What type of venation do you find in the plants with the taproot? Yes, they have reticulate venation. So by your observations here, you can come to a conclusion that the plants with fibrous root have parallel venation, while the plants with taproot have reticulate venation. So our question was that without pulling out the plant, will you be able to know what type of root the plant is having? So are you able to get the answer now? Yes, it is possible to know the type of root. How? By observing the venation in the leaves. If the plant or the leaf is having parallel venation, then it will have fibrous root. If the leaf is having reticulate venation, then it will have taproot. So isn't it easy? Without pulling out the plant, you can find out what type of root system the plant is having. Activity: complete the given table. So here is a table where the names of a few plants are given. 5 plants are given here. So what you're going to do is find out the type of venation in the plant and what type of roots they possess. For example, the first one is grass. You are going to find out what type of leaf venation you can find and the kind of roots grass have. The second plant given is radish, third one rice, fourth carrot, fifth coriander. So you're going to decide what is the venation pattern and what type of roots these plants possess. Food is stored in different parts of the plant body. In plants, certain parts are modified as storage organs. For example, roots. So roots store food as we see in carrot, beetroot, radish, sweet potato, etc. So when we are eating a carrot or a beetroot, we are eating the root. So the roots are storing the food. Leaves. Example: spinach, coriander, cabbage, lettuce, etc. Stem. Example: potato, sugarcane, ginger, etc. So potato is nothing but the modified part of stem. Sugarcane and ginger also, when we are eating them, it is the stem part of the plant. Fruit, which we already know: mango, guava, brinjal, tomato, etc. Flower. Some flowers store food such as cauliflower, broccoli, etc. Seeds. Example: mustard, wheat, rice, Bengal gram, black gram, etc. So, a plant and its parts store food. Or we can say that different parts of a plant store food. Stem is like a street with two-way traffic. So can you explain this statement? We already have learned the functions of a stem. A stem carries water and minerals from the roots to the upper parts of the plant, such as leaves, flowers, and fruits. On the other hand, the stem carries or distributes food prepared by the leaves to all parts of the plant. So, the water and minerals is moving up while the food prepared by the leaves is moving down. So, therefore, it is said that stem acts like a street with two-way traffic. There is one movement upwards and another movement downwards. Now let us learn about flower. Flower is the most attractive part of a plant. It is also the most brightly colored part of the plant. Usually we see that leaves are green in color, and flower is the only part which is very colorful. Today let us learn about the different parts of a flower. You can take a hibiscus flower to learn easily the different parts of a flower. So let us start. You can take a look at the diagram also here. The outermost layer of the flower is called as the sepals. These sepals are green in color and they are leaf-like structure which protects the flower during bud condition. If you have observed a bud, you can find they are covered or the bud is enclosed in tiny leaf-like structures. These tiny leaf-like structures are called as the sepals. The next layer is the most brightly colored part, which is called as the petals. So petals are the colorful part of the flower. Why are they so colorful? That is to help attract insects for the process of pollination. As we proceed inside, we find the most important part of the flower, which is called as the pistil. The innermost part of a flower is called pistil. As you can see in the diagram here, it consists of three parts, namely the stigma, that is the uppermost part, and a long filament like which is called as the style, and the ovary, which is usually the swollen part or the bottom part of the pistil. So pistil is made of three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. Stamen. These are the male reproductive organs of a flower. A stamen consists of two parts. You can see here in the diagram, anther, which is the topmost part of the stamen, usually yellow in color, and the filament or the long thread-like structure, which is called as the filament. So stamen is made of two parts, anther and filament. So what are the different parts of a flower? Sepals, which are green in color, tiny leaf-like structures. Petals, which are the most colorful part of the flower. Pistil, which is the innermost part of a flower and has three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. And the last part is called as a stamen, which is a male reproductive organ of a flower and is made of two parts, anther and filament. Now in this diagram, you can observe there is one more extra part labeled here, which is called as receptacle. So you might be wondering, what is this receptacle? Receptacle is the part of the stalk. The flowers have a stalk, isn't it? So it is a part of the stalk on which the flower parts are arranged. So on the receptacle is holding all the parts of the flower. Points to remember. You're going to make a note of these points in your book and learn them. Types of roots. First one is taproot. It has a main root. The smaller roots that grow from the main root are called lateral roots. Example: carrot, coriander, Bengal gram, etc. B. Fibrous root. They do not have a main root. All the roots arise from the base of the stem. Example: corn, rice, wheat, etc. The food produced by the leaves travel through the stem and it is stored in different parts of the plant. It is stored in certain roots like carrot, radish, sweet potato, turnip, and tapioca. Plants having taproot have reticulate venation. Plants having fibrous root have parallel venation. Home assignment. First main, answer the following questions. First one, if a plant has fibrous root, what type of venation do its leaves have? Second question, If a plant has reticulate venation, what kind of roots will it have? Third question, is it possible for you to find whether a plant has taproot or fibrous root by looking at the impression of its leaf on a sheet of paper? Fourth one, name the part of the plant which produces food. Name the process. Fifth one, draw a neat labeled diagram of taproot and fibrous root. Second main, name the following. First one, the arrangement of veins on the surface of leaves. Second one, a green colored substance present in leaves. Third one, a part of the plant which helps to anchor the plant to the soil. Fourth one, the broad green part of the leaf. Fifth one, plants with weak stem that spread on the ground. So children, you can write the answers in your books and you can check this later when I give you the answers. Thank you children.